familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak in suburban Texas?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it?
Shalom. I like to say all praises due unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Akakwadash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, of whom I learned this truth from. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there. This is all set up. Everything was going on is orchestrated by the Heavenly Father and ultimately by these elite, right? Because they're gonna bring in this new lockdown, just like they did in 2020, with this Hantavirus, right? And this is what they're gonna be pushing, right? Let me actually look into the word Hanta. Let me see what it means. Okay, this is very interesting. So the Hanta meaning in Hebrew, Hanta means refer to the hantavirus, but is also used in slander as a term for a scam, fake, or garbage. So this is all set up, man. By these international bankers, these global elite. These health, the World Health Organization. This is all being set up, right? Let's play this. Okay. 1 second, I can't play. 1 second. So it says Canada's preparing to spend $20 million on a new hantavirus vaccine, expected in 6 months. Will also drop another $10 billion on masks and PPE. Don't know what that refers, but it says Canada are struggling with housing and food costs, but somehow there's always billions ready to buy for this. This is Canada. So they said that 2 passengers, from the cruise ships, they're Canadian residents and they're back in Canada. This is all a big scam, and that's what the word Hanta means in the Hebrew, right? A scam, garbage, So this is all a big facade. They're planning, a big event to lock down the world again, because they're gonna say, oh, with this crisis, this gonna be a big reason, that you can't travel unless you have this whole vaccine. I can't say the V word, but I will say the vaccine, just like they did in 2020. Where you weren't able to travel, you weren't able to go to restaurants. You couldn't go and see, you weren't able to see your doctor unless you had the mask and you had this whole vaccine in your flesh, right? So we're not ignorant of Satan devices, man. So let's bring out this. So it means Hanta in Hebrew means a scam, fake, or garbage. All right, so let me go 2nd Esdras think it's 40. Second Esdras, which verse? 15 verse 49 in the GNT translation, in the Apocrypha, right, which was taken out from the 1611 Bible, right, because the 1611 Bible has the Apocrypha, right. They took out those books because it would show, who the Edomites are, would show who Alexander the Great is, and the whole Edomites, how they were Hellenizing Jake. So they took that book out, right? But so second Esdras 15:49, and I will send disasters upon you. I will make you a widow and send poverty, famine, war, epidemics, right? So this whole epidemic with this whole Hantavirus, right, to destroy your homes and ruin and bring ruin and death, right? Just like when people had the Maxine waters in them, right, and they were vaccinated, it caused a lot of people to die, right? And people got booster shots. Some people died. So those who's a living and they got these vaccines in them, and now they're going to get the hanti virus. That's gonna be inserted in them, right? It's going to cause a lot of death, because this is all a part of their plan, having population control. This is a part of the plans of the global elite. It says people of hantavirus ships ate every meal side by side, even after the first death, right? So, like, this is probably not, like, this probably was just a theater of, this is all probably stage, right? This is all, crisis actors, right? Because the symbol of the World Health Organization is the serpent, right? Which is known as the caduceus, right? Let's look at the symbol of the World Health. Let's look at the serpent, right? Which is the, one second. World Health Organization. Says the WHO's, our World Health Organization emblem, was chosen by the first World Health Assembly in 1948. The emblem emblem consists of the United Nations symbol, surmounted by the staff with a snake coiled around about it, right, which is known as the caduceus, right? So let's look at the caduceus. Sorry. Caduceus. Sorry. Symbol. The caduceus symbol. Right, so the caduceus symbol includes the two snakes topped off with the set of wings. The caduceus is from the Greek root meaning herald wand, right? Because this is when you go into Moses, right? Moses, he had the Lord, right? He gave Moses a shepherd's what do you call it? A shepherd's not wand, but basically a shepherd's staff, right? Because he was a shepherd, right? And basically, the Heavenly Father gave Moses that the shepherd staff, and it turned into a snake, right? And then that was very terrible, like to look upon, right? To see like the shepherd staff turn into a snake, right? And that was when Moses, when he went to Pharaoh, and Moses brought out, like he had the rod, he had the shepherd's rod, and it turned into a serpent. And then um the pharaohs, their magicians, they did the same thing, right? So this is nothing but witchcraft, and alchemy, what the World Health Organization pushes, right? They're pushing drugs, right? Which is known in the Greek is pharmakia, which means a sorcerer, enchanter, right? So Greek meaning herald wand. It was a badge of diplomatic ambassadors associated with commerce, eloquence, alchemy, thievery, and lying, right? So this is what they push. They're lying to the people, right? They're nothing but witches and warlocks, man. And we need Yahweh Shai, to be our, which he is going to be the advocate of the elite, of the 144,000 of the elect, right? Right, the Lord, Yahweh Shai, his son, right, is going to be the mediator, right? And he's going to carry the elect, through the fire, because this place is going to be totally engulfed with flames, right? So the story behind the snakes in medical symbol, the caduceus, or the rod of Asclepius, right? They're into alchemy. They're into all these stuff, man. So it says, this is off of CTV News, right? And these news, these these media, right? These news media, they're all Masonic in nature. They're all set up by these elite, these Masons, to push a false narrative um through their media, right? Through their like through their enchanter, like through enchanting, by things on your news, your TV, your social media, your computer. People on Hantavirus ships ate every meal side by side, even after the first death. This is crazy, man. The World Health Organization is taking measure to mitigate the spread of the hantavirus after 8 cases, right? So so that this is off of a so-called ship, right? So this whole thing is gonna go global, right? And it's gonna go all around the world. And the World Health Organization, they're going to say, oh, you won't be able to travel, you know, you won't be able to go on your cruise, right? Unless you will get this hantavirus. This is all a ploy of the global elite to to ultimately bring in their new world order and eventually have everybody see hipped, right? And with this central bank digital currency, no, the central bank banking system, that they plan on getting rid of cash, and eventually they want everybody to be chipped, right? So A lot of things are going on. A lot of things are going on quick. We'll share this link in the description, right? So with that, let us say our praise due to how Bashem Yahushai Bashem Kodash. The bonds pass a great milestone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.